Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy CrabLord back again with another video. Today we're going to be doing another Travis Scott tutorial. I know what you're thinking, that maybe I made too many Travis Scott tutorials and this is like my 7th one, maybe 7th or 8th, whatever. He's always switching it up. He's always adds a little new flair, and especially in the song The Scotts. I never even heard of it. Apparently it was in Fortnite concert, so it'll be fun. So before we get into the video, make sure to subscribe and already subscribe, notification bell as well, so you never miss a video that I post. Also make sure to hit that like button. Also, make sure to check out my description down below. A lot of sweet things down there, like preset packs, which I've been saying I gotta release more. All my social media, all my equipment, all my music, a support link for the preset packs, and a DistroKid link to get 5% off your sign up to put your music everywhere. Anyway, Travis Scott, The Scotts. Let's get in the video. All right, so this one's a little more complex, so I am gonna re-record it, but I want to show you this real quick. Okay, so first of all, we got a beat reproduced by Young Cybo. Link in the description down below. Make sure to check that out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna deactivate every plugin and then play it with it all on right now, and then I'm gonna re-record it for you. So here we go. This is completely dry. There's nothing. Before I go into it, we got a lead, a backup, a funky effect, and ad-lib. What I like to keep simple in my tutorials is that every single thing I do is based off of the lead. So once you get the lead, everything's basically just copied, but then changed a little bit to make a completely different sound. So it works out that way. But here it is dry. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside, straight from the couch. I bet you're wondering what that little intro effect thing was. It didn't really do anything. Now I'm gonna play it with everything on. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside, straight from the couch. Let's delete it and re-record it. I did the ad-lib wrong. I'm gonna try to do it right this time. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside, straight to the couch. We put the mic outside, edit shit out. You letting the scouts outside, we running the scouts. Alright, well that tickled your fancy. Let's start it. What you're looking at right now is the lead, the backup, and the ad-lib. I didn't add the effect yet. We're gonna learn that soon. We'll learn the effect after the lead, but we're gonna start with the lead. So right below it is new lead, and it's dry right now, so let's talk on that. So now we're on a dry track, and now we can pull each plugin over from the left and really get through what's really going on. So first and foremost, we have the De-esser. That'll suppress the sounds. De-esser 2, which is dynamics, De-esser 2 mono, De-esser 2, and when you're inside of it, I have a user default, which means I didn't pick a preset. I did what I thought was right. So I have a threshold of -40. The lower the threshold, the more you hear. So I have 40. It might be too strong, but who cares? Max reduction's at 6.9 because I'm immature. Frequency's at 7,300. Frequency, not sure exactly what that does, but it's 73. Wide range, filter looks like this, and we'll close it. I'll play it with just the De-esser. De-esser. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside. Boom. Next is the pitch correction, which is very important in a Travis Scott vocal because he is very auto-tune powered, meaning if he wasn't using it, it wouldn't sound like him. This is tough though, because the root and scale doesn't matter to you. You have to find it yourself or else it'll sound like crap. I say this every video. Basically, I found this song to be natural minor scale C. You have to just go trial and error or know the key of your song, major scale and natural minor, and just check every root. Zero response time is the main key to this. Just have zero response time. We got our heights outside. Let's play it with auto-tune and De-esser. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside, straight to the couch. Now we're moving to the channel EQ, which will clean it up amazingly. It's a very heavy one. It's a hefty one. This vocal was very thin, so my thinking here was to go to EQ, channel EQ mono. I wish there was another plugin like this that I could use all the time, but this is just the staple plugin. There's a linear phase EQ, which it's a more precise EQ. I like this one because it's just easier. So when you're inside of it, what we can do before I talk about it is double click each thing and change every value to what I have, and you'll have the same slope as me, but I'll tell you right now what I did. I took the red and I brought it to 112 or 110. I originally had it at 200, but it was kind of cutting off too much, because like I said, it is a thin vocal, but still, they're still low in his voice, because that's what makes it sound cool. But then you take the orange, you drag it all the way to 500, -4. So that cuts off the 200 area instead of bringing the red. It cuts off the top half of it and just leaves some more low. Nothing yellow. Took the green to 500, dropped it -5. And then took this one to 500, dropped the -1. So it's ultimately -6. And then grab the purple, go to 5,000, +3, let it go all the way to the end. And we have it gained +1. That might have been an accident, but it's gained +1. Close it. This is what it sounds like with those 3 plugins. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside, straight to the couch. Yay! Next we have the very reliable compressor. Let's bring it over. Dynamics, compressor, mono. It made everything louder, I believe. Let me turn it down. So when you're in the compressor, what we're gonna do first is set the auto gain off and turn distortion to hard. And then click Studio FET. It's the black and orange one. It's a little harsher sounding. I just looked into my light and I'm blind right now. So what we got here is a ratio of 5.2 to 1. Because I'm using one main compressor besides the multipressor, I'm gonna make it heavy. 5.2. Threshold's -20. I originally had the makeup on 5, so with this recording I had to change it because it wasn't as loud. -20, 5.2 to 1, 2 makeup because it's bouncing between -5 and 0. We want to add half of it back about. Attack's at 15. It's a very fast attack. The faster the attack, the more like harsh it's gonna sound. So when I talk like this, it's like kind of crappy. And slower attack is more smooth. But his vocals are not, they're smooth, but they're like distorted. So you want to have the 15 fast attack. They're hitting hard, they're hitting quick. And the release is 190 with slower release. And then we're gonna close it. Let's play with the compressor and everything else. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside. All right, now what we're gonna do is add the bit crusher, which is the distortion part. So bring it over. Whoa. This is about right. This adds all the volume to it. Distortion, bit crusher, mono. This thing's really cool. I never really use this plugin, but I wanted to use a different distortion for it. So we have the user default, and we do a 16.5 drive. You want it to be 24-bit, because if you make it anything less, it really sounds really bad. Downsampling's 1, because if it's more than that,
You sound like a dying.
when you have those like press me things, it sounds like when they're like out of batteries.
It sounds like when they're like out of batteries.
It's 1 and mix is 60% because it's not fully gonna be on my voice. I don't want it to be fully there. I want it to be like kind of attached. Okay, that's there. Play it. We see the hype outside, right from the house. And now the final sprinkle is going to be a multi-pressor. Multiband compressor. Dynamics, multi-pressor, mono. Now, this is always going to happen. Whenever I do things before I record, there might be a volume difference. So as you can see right here, in my output, I had it... it was peaking, so I'm gonna turn it down. What we're gonna hear is simple. So we're gonna space them out first. We got 130 right here, 520, 3500. If you type it in, it's gonna space them out, or you can grab them by the bar and just move them left and right. 1 is completely taken away because we don't want any low. 2 is -6. 3 is -2. 4 is 7. Did a really high boost on the high end and took away everything else. Auto gain's off as well. Look ahead's 5. I don't know if that's right. Don't know if it matters. Turn it off. Here's what it sounds like as just a lead. This may sound different from the original beginning thing because of the volume. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside, straight to the couch. Now the final touch is going to be a reverb. There's not much reverb on this vocal, and I did a little trick with this, so you'll figure it out in just a couple minutes. Go to bus 1, and then in bus 1, you want a Space Designer, because I always use it, because I'm not original. Space Designer mono stereo. When you're inside of it, that's where you want to go. Click the tool. Large, halls, 6.7 second marbled church. That's what I'm getting the vibes of. And if you don't have these settings, try to say it now in all my videos. There's a sound library bar at the top, and you can download all the sounds, and I already have them, so they're free. Indeed, there's no extra thing. So when you're inside of it, you get the marbled church setting. We want a dry that is muted, and then a wet that is 0. High spread's 80%, low spread's 100. 13.4 seconds, I doubled it to 200% size. Okay, so 200% size, it's gonna automatically put it at 13.4. Top right is very important. Output EQ, grab the purple, take it to 5,000 hertz, as you can see down here, and make it all the way down, -24, 5,000. What that's gonna do is whenever the reverb is activated, it's gonna not allow any of the high frequency, like harsh sounds to push through, because there are a lot, because it's distorted, so it's gonna stay calmer. So with that in the bus, we're gonna set that to a measly 35. So with all that added, the lead sounds like this. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside, straight to the couch. Now that's how you get the lead. Now, if you're confused still, watch it over again. Now we're gonna get into the second part, which is to find the rest of it based on the lead. So what you wanna do with the lead is hit Command and hit D, That'll duplicate the exact settings you have. We're gonna bring it below my backup was, and we're gonna figure out what I did. So what did I do? This is the backup, this is the lead. So first things first, no bus. So block out the bus, there's no bus. What we do here is we take the Space Designer we already made, hold Option, click it, and we drag it below. So it's more intense. And simply what we did to it was make the wet -9, because if it was still at 0, it's like crap. -9. Point of this reverb is to have no human-like sounds. How am I still talking on it? This is what it sounds like. I turn on the new lead because I can talk on both somehow. So the reason you can still hear me is in the lead, but this is very light. This is a very like backgroundish design. So you can use this for anything. If you want a very ominous background that doesn't interfere with your vocals, this is a good setting for you. So put this in the vocal chain. Wet -9, dry is muted. Dry is your real voice. You don't want that there. Wet -9, dry muted. High and low spread are both 50%. X over 740. 200% again, you didn't change that. Length 13.4. You didn't change it. All you changed was the low and high, the dry and the wet. And the output EQ, which is super important with this one. Like before, is at 5,000. Then we grab the blue, bring it to 870 or around 1,000. Drop it -7. Cut out a little bit of the mid, and then completely take out the low as well. So it's only picking up the mid frequencies. I have it at 200 all the way down. If I move it, it adds more of like a dark tone, and there's more happening with the reverb. So 200. Now it's just simple. It's just lightly in the background. There wasn't much reverb on his vocals, but it sounded like there was still some there, so I made 2. Instead of having reverb directly on the vocal, we have it on a different vocal that accents it to make a cool little effect. So, activate, make it quiet. This is what it sounds like. We see the hype outside, right from the house. Took it straight from outside, straight to the couch. Cool. Once you made the backup, now we're gonna do the effect. With the effect, we're gonna duplicate the backup. So this is the new backup. I'll name it new backup. And we're gonna hit Command D on that, and now it's duplicated. So this is gonna be new effect. Let's bring the effect above it so we can see exactly how it was done. As you can see, it's using all the same plugins as the backup. There's just one very different thing. To create the effect, we're going to need a piece of the lead. We see the hype out. We see the hype. We're just gonna take that, cut it, Command T, you'll just cut it, or however you wanna do it. And then you're gonna copy it down to the effect. We're going to bring it to the new effect spot. The only difference with this one is, just go into the space designer, that's it. Output EQ is the same. Dry and wet's the same, everything's the same except length, ready? And reverse. What you wanna do is click reverse. And then make the length 1.21 seconds. Let's play it without reverse. Seconds. Okay, with reverse. Sounds like a ghost. So that's what you're gonna get. So you're gonna have to place this strategically. Simple as that. Like this. We see the hype outside, right? So now that we did that and I showed you how to do it, now let's just freestyle and have a good time and unwind and just have fun. I caught a mouse and I got nothing to say. I'm flying up and away. Your man's in the closet, he gay. Give me his number though, ayy. I sound like I don't belong here. Someone go grab me a beer. I'm an alcoholic, help me. Please, I'm an alcoholic, help me. Run with me into the field. Strawberry peels, oh my dear. Hey, bands on me, quit talking. I be in the bushes stalking. On the fireplace Santa. Please give me a banana. And I smell like a monkey, and my tummy's getting chunky. Eating too much, baby, please don't push me. I don't wanna know why, what I'm gonna do to you. I'm gonna rap like this, I'm gonna take a piss, and I'm gonna suck your tit. What's better for me? I hope you guys enjoyed that video, learned something as well. And if you didn't, then I'm sorry. And I failed because this is a very long video. If you learned nothing, then I made this for no reason. Make sure to drop a like on the video, leave a comment down below, tell me what you think. What does do next? Also, make sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed, notification bell as well. Anyway, this has been a CrabLord. How to sound like Travis Scott Part 30 in Logic Pro 10 using only stock plugins. And like always, we out.